Welcome, Mr. Denome, and welcome to this update. And as you can see, we did have a crash or dump from here to down here like we expected in the previous video. And we have touched our first target like we talked about in the previous video. But as of now, the question obviously is, where will the price go next? Will we hit the second target, and where is the second target? So in this video, I will use fundamental analysis and technical analysis to basically answer that question. And I try to keep this video short. But before I show you those things, I have to thank one viewer from my previous video because he told me about this RSI divergence indicator. So this one tracks automatically the bearish and the bullish divergences, and this is a free tool to use on TradingView as well. So these are pretty neat. They are not 100% accurate, but they are pretty nice to have. So thank you, Mustafa, for telling me about that. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can click the join button here under the video. That will allow you to donate a couple of dollars per month to me if you want to. There's currently already 9 people donating to me, so I'm making $20 per month as of now. So if you want to help me out, you can click the join button here. And thank you to everybody who is already donating to me. Anyway, let's head back to the chart here. So I have a couple of basic ideas for the chart, obviously. Going for the next phases, the first obvious one is now we have a trend line here to the downside. So what I'm kind of expecting now is that we had a bounce from this support line perfectly. So from here, let me paint this white. So now that we had that, we can basically take this one out. That was our target. Next, I'm expecting the price to hit here. And then there will be a decision time for Bitcoin, basically. Do we want to go up or we want to go further down? Personally, I am expecting further down. And why is that? Well, the answer is that we had all of the momentum last week. We had bullish announcements. We had a lot of bullish news. We had the Bitcoin conference. We had the Ethereum ETFs. All of these things, the bullish momentum was there, but we still failed to actually reach a new all-time high. We failed to reach and go above this resistance line. So if all of those were basically on our side and we still failed it, that probably means there's not enough buyers in the market. And when there's not buyers in the market, there's no way for price to actually push higher. So now the expectation on people, I feel like, is that they are waiting for the election, which is marked with this line here. So we still have quite many days to actually get there. Let's take a look. Let's go to the daily view. So from here to here, it's roughly 100 days to the election. So people seems to be just waiting what's going to happen. So the price may just go up and down between this channel here all the way until the elections. And I feel like there may be some disappointment coming to the market when the price is not doing what you were expecting, and some people may be joining to become on the sell side. So we might even go all the way down to 52K, 53K in the short term. But for now, we basically need to see where the price goes here. So if you want my idea is to basically short Bitcoin once again. My short has now been closed, which I opened roughly at 66K to 64K was my short. Now, if or when we touch the yellow line here, that would be the area to short Bitcoin once again, and then go to the next target. And what is the next target? I think it's roughly in this area here. So 50 or 60,000 Bitcoin, or let's say the safe bet would be 60,500 to 59,500. That would be the next area where Bitcoin will be going to. That's my idea if this line is respected. Obviously, it may not be respected, maybe it is respected, who knows. Currently, we do not have any bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart or even on the 1-hour chart. And typically, I like to have some form of bullish divergence before I invest. Like here, we had many things going on at the same time. So as you can see, we had a bullish divergence here on the 1-hour chart. At the same time, this was a long-term bullish trend line. And on the 4-hour chart, now I lost it. Here, this was also like a trend line break that we had here. All of the things at the same time happening during this time. So that would be a high confidence trade if you were to make it here. But as of now, we don't have the bullish divergence here on the 1-hour chart. So that's why I'm expecting some, like, let's draw it here on the chart. So something like this. We go, maybe touch here, and then we go below. If we don't go below, we get the bullish divergence, then I will flip bullish. But here would be a nice idea to short, and then a stop loss above it somewhere. So that's kind of my idea in the short term. But in the long term, this is not now my idea. So we failed this trend line here. This one was failed. We came out of it. And next trend line that we do have on the chart is this one here. So this is basically the area where Bitcoin can be bouncing until the election. And after the election, my current idea is to be bullish after the election because the monetary policy changes. I'm not expecting changes in the monetary policy before the election. That's why I'm expecting the price to be somewhere in this area. So if you have a better idea, I'm happy to hear that. But this, to me, seems like one of the best ideas to have, at least as of now. So maybe we do not go to 38K, at least as of yet. We have to respect this trend line first. So if you see the price coming close to this trend line, I think that will be the best time to actually buy a lot of Bitcoin when we come there. So we have that 100 days to election right now. I'm not expecting the price to break a new all-time high before that either, because we had all of the bullishness, all of the news, the presidential candidates speaking at the Bitcoin conference, so I don't think that will be broken. That's why I'm expecting moves to the downside. It would be just so weird to see Bitcoin just going sideways here at 60K all this time until the election. Obviously, anything is possible. Sometimes Bitcoin can hover like sideways. We saw here from March 2023 until basically October 2023. 6 months basically just going sideways. So we've kind of been doing just sideways for a long time already. But all in all, it just seems like people are on the waiting side of things. Now let's quickly just talk about the fundamentals. So Ethereum ETFs, yesterday we basically saw zero net inflow, zero outflow. $300,000 inflow is basically nothing in the world of billions of dollars. So you cannot even see the blip from yesterday's ETF inflow here. Next up on the sentiment, we are unfortunately seeing, let me zoom in here, we are seeing a rolling out on the total amount of stablecoins here. So we had a peak amount of stablecoins at 154.4 billion stablecoins. Now we are looking at 1 billion less stablecoins. And this drop-off came just within 3 days. So this is a lot of redemptions on this time. Maybe it was a short-term redemption and it will go up once again. But anyway, that is not a bullish signal to see a lot of redemptions of stablecoins. Because during the previous bull market 2020-2022, we basically didn't see any selling of stablecoins. We started to see selling of stablecoins at the end here, just like a selling new minting, selling new minting, and here was the like a drop-off point, and this coincides with this peak here at March of 2022 when price of Bitcoin was 46K, and then we basically rolled over. So right now we have seen a lot of slowing down on stablecoins, and now we're even seeing quite a lot of redemption. So that might be a little bit scary going into the future as well. Something else interesting here, I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. So I was playing with these different indicators. So here I basically just left the brackets of 0 to 1 Bitcoin holders and 1 to 100 Bitcoin holders. And currently I'm looking at the Bitcoin supply. So how much of the Bitcoin supply is held by these retail investors, and how much of the Bitcoin supply is held by maybe dolphin investors or casual investors. And I found out the orange line is one of the most reliable lines out of all of the different categories. Because when we take a look at it, the orange line only, you can see that on December 2017, these guys basically completely nailed the top in 2017. Also, here in 2020 and 2021, they started to sell Bitcoin quite heavily, and they were patient. They did not buy into this FOMO here, and they started to accumulate Bitcoin once again right at when Bitcoin was $20,000, and then they accumulated like hell. They even accumulated all the way when Bitcoin was 26,000, and after that they started to sell again. Not exactly timing the absolute top, but as of now you can see that they already done most of the selling that they were gonna do, and this has slowed down significantly already. And just in the last couple of days, this has actually started to flip to the upside. So this is quite interesting in my opinion. I don't know if this has a lot of significance, but in my opinion, this is fundamentally bullish that these guys are not selling. Most of the selling that we are currently seeing is coming from the large wallets, 10,000 to basically over 10,000 Bitcoin wallets. As you can see, these have come down quite significantly. So they were holding 16.2% of the Bitcoin supply, now 0.4% less as of now. So this is your Mt. Gox money, this is your Germany money, this is your US government money, and obviously this is also the just large investors, mega whales, like I like to say. But those were basically the sellers. Retail investors are accumulating, and these guys are accumulating as well, just very, very slowly. So in the short term, anything is obviously possible. My idea is that since the momentum wasn't enough last time, it would be weird if the price would just go up. Obviously, if we see some major news and people just suddenly flip bullish, then it's a different story. But for now, I have to basically just have some have a cool head. And then here's another interesting indicator, let's say that. So now we're looking at the Ethereum ETFs, and when we take a look at the Ethereum ETFs and funds, you can see something interesting, which is a net flow of negative 140,000 Ethereum. And just in the last week, we see a negative outflow of 188,000 Ethereum. Why is this happening? The reason is that there's this large fund called Grayscale ETH fund, and they are holding $7 billion worth of Ethereum in this fund. And as you can see, 75% of all of the ETF Ethereum is held in this fund here. The problem is that the fee here is 2.5% annually. So you have to pay 2.5% for the luxury of having an inferior version of Ethereum. So obviously, people who were holding this ETH, because it was the only available option before the ETFs came around, a lot of people are taking their money out of here and reallocating it to the cheaper ETFs. But some of them just take the Ethereum out, maybe they put it into their own wallets, maybe they are selling. So all in all, I do believe this is sell pressure for Ethereum. And eventually this will flip bullish, flip to become an inflow. So as you can see, this is already slowing down from the recent week. The sell pressure is slowing down clearly. Unfortunately, the buying pressure is also slowing down here. if we compare that to the Bitcoin ETF, what happened at the launch, it's almost the same story here. So as you can see from the Grayscale fund, a lot of redemptions came out in the beginning. At the first, you saw inflows into the ETF, and then the inflows actually turned to outflows, in like a net outflow for like a week, and then we started to see accumulation. So eventually the Ethereum ETFs will start to become like a net accumulation points for investors, but we are not there yet. So if I had to guess, it seems like this change will happen slower than what happened with Bitcoin, and these guys are holding 2.3% of the Ethereum supply. So I don't know how low this goes. Maybe we will see this go to all the way down to 2%. So like a 0.3% sell pressure from Ethereum supply. It doesn't sound like a lot, and it is not a lot, but it is still some sell pressure that will probably come to Ethereum in the near term. That is probably pushing the crypto prices down as well. So if we take a look at the Ethereum prices here, it looks like this. So we're still respecting this long-term trend line all the way back to 2016. We are above it. So personally, even though I'm seeing this basically outflow from the ETFs, I'm not bearish because we are still above the trend line. So if you see Ethereum below $3,000, that's when I will get a little bit worried. So keep number 3,000 in your head. But since we are above it, it's very hard for me to be bearish at these prices. So there's a good chance that we still go above it. There's like a month, 2-month period here, almost not exactly until the end of election. So this might go below here, maybe even scare us out. And then we have the election and everything changes, or maybe nothing changes and then we actually roll over, we go to a massive recession, who knows. But all in all, currently it's very hard to be bearish because we are above the trend lines here. Global liquidity is interesting though. So we do have a new all-time high in global liquidity. So when we take a look at the money stock of all the major currencies in the market and we stack them together, we have been basically consolidating sideways in global liquidity for 2 years now. And now we do have a new all-time high. So let's see if the money printers stay online or what is going to happen. But this is a nice breakout. I hope it's not a fake out and it will continue to go upwards, because new liquidity when it comes to the market, that is usually bullish for Bitcoin. Inflation is obviously bullish. Monetary inflation is bullish for Bitcoin. So I just thought this is nice to see we have this all-time high here. So all in all, if I wrap this video up, because we failed with the momentum we had to go to the upside, it's hard for me to currently see what can cause the price to suddenly go to the upside. If people just agree to themselves that fuck it, I'm just gonna accumulate Bitcoin no matter what, obviously it will just go up and it will surprise everybody. But as of now, at least in the short term, I don't have the divergences. I don't have we don't have the momentum at least at this stage. We failed this structure here as well, so I'm kind of just expecting further downside. Could be that we just go up from the support line here, but I'm expecting it to break. So the next area to be shorting is below the yellow line here. If we go above it, then I'll be looking for long positions. As of now, I closed one short here and I will be opening the next one right about here. So those are my ideas for now for Bitcoin and crypto. I'm not 100% sure if I will make a video tomorrow, so it could be that I will make the next video on Monday. Let's see. But if you follow me on Discord, I will probably be making some comments there, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.